Right here, that little magnet there. So he was okay. Alright, so I'm gonna move him aside a little bit. Yep, so what we're gonna do is gonna go ahead and prepare to put this guy right here in between the lines here. Again, this is our farthest left. So what we're gonna do is put him like right there in between. I think he should be okay right there. So we're prepared to cut him accordingly to what he needs to slack of. So well, let me see if I can tug it more. I'm debating here on putting him like right above there or where, but yeah, definitely right there. So before I rather have this crack than their crack or engine crack, but more than likely it's not because you got their cylinder kickstand protecting it anyway. So let's go and do that. Let's go ahead and make the adequate lines adjustment here to get this guy pulled over to where we think he can fit comfortably. So let's go ahead and prepare to cut this line right there. So let me go and bring that pair cutter. That thing just snaps like nobody's business right here. I don't even have to mark it, to be honest with you. He just goes after it. All right, here we go. I gotta make sure first before I snap them. No, that's not being sure. Yeah, because I forgot you have to feed a little bit of the cable in him. So here we go. This is the one. Look at that. Just literally eats it up. And I think I could probably rip the rest. Almost rips like paper, to be honest with you. A little scary. Oh, actually this fiber is what's holding it. Let me take this down. Yeah, there's fiber that holds it together here. See how it's ripping there. Got cut, but I didn't cut it all the way. It's just like a bad pizza cutter. There we go. Okay, come on. I don't want to put new indentation on him. Just want him to cut. There we go. All right, so that's it. That's one cut there. So now he's also going to have, what do you call that? That little tie thing. Now there's a certain way this is faces. So let's go back in our schematic and just verify again which way is faces, because I know one of them holds a spring on its side and the other one. We're going to also be able to integrate this with our Prima magnet. A lot of people think you can't, but instead of, see how it comes with? Right here. Instead of using this just regular filler, it's just aluminum washer. In fact, you can probably make use from this for something else too. But we're going to put our magnet. Our magnet one's going to go in replacement of this guy right here. And then we're going to put our spring and everything else. So let's take a look at the back of the schematic and see what it says real quick. And then we'll continue on putting our washers and everything else to it. So you can see here, also in the back of the box too, it tells you. There it goes. See, there it goes right there. So you want this filter part to actually, sorry, let me get a resolution on this. So you want this filter part here to actually go toward the radiator. I call this the radiator. And then you got this part here. It's going to go toward the cap of the engine bottom. So this is what direction we're going to go with. So that's it. Let's go and put its hose clamp on this one as well. And prepare to tighten down. And then this one's all ready to go. We're going to even do a little vacuum test to make sure air actually blows out coming back in. Because if anything, you know, it will work even though this doesn't get oil in there or whatever. But what's the purpose of installing it if it doesn't go flawlessly through, right? And then of course we're not going to close it back yet until we actually see the ramp of it securely. So let me go ahead and get this guy back into position here. You're going to see me mount his bigger body part, or let's say there's the body part, and the head will be facing the engine one, or engine base. So you can see here I did a little slant cut. I kind of regret it a little bit. So you see that little slant? It's not gonna, I mean it'll fit still, but I really want a nice flush flat one. So let me go and retrim this again real quick. And this time I won't be too chicken. Make sure I do a good cut job instead of having a slant like that, because that doesn't look really cool at all. So I'm gonna take a little bit more off, maybe another centimeter, but we're gonna give it a good flat cut, not a cruise cut. So this is it. I think I got it to where I need it. See how it wants to go like that. Hold it flat, then continue on cutting it. There we go. So we took a little bit of the flat cut here. So you can see here. And by the way, Tata and NCY uses the same hose line, same company. So I think Tata just sprays theirs black, and they give you like the Banjo bolts and the washers and everything separately, of course. But I think NCY you get a little better deal because you actually get the adapter with that. So this adapter here, if you ever change model scooter that doesn't have an oil port on the back of the engine case, like right there, like right here, then you can actually use the adapter and go straight to the very bottom. It's not going to be that effective compared to straight directly near the oil pump, but it sure is beats not having one. So I'm glad to be able to, that NCY actually came up with this oil cooler setup here. So you can see there's nice clean aluminum CNC machine precision there. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually sorry, got a little distracted here. We gotta put our hose clamp, and let's follow the same direction internally where it's gonna be driven like. So we're gonna drive it like that, huh? Then we can drive it like that. That's gonna be a little challenging. It might not be challenging because we're gonna do it first and then we're gonna draw it all the way to the other end. So let's go ahead and do that. Tighten this guy out here, righty tighty. Sorry, clicking that other area there. It's coming. Yeah, be careful with this though. Once you tighten it down, don't try to drag it because these things can probably cut the hose just like that little cutter there. And if you put a little nick in the hose inside internally, then you have another issue of leaking. So just kind of take your time, hold it, stabilize, and twist it. Don't let the cable don't do this way where you're relying this guy, because those little side walls of his can start cutting into the cable that you didn't foresee happening. Okay, so let's pull this back because we need all the slack we can get to actually merge this guy inside of it first, and then we're gonna bring him up. So I think these are all like 5/8, and they're gonna be tough ones. So it's gotta scoot, especially when there's, there we go. So I'm just trying to push them in, okay? So hold them good. Yeah. In fact, you want to take this guy out of your way. You don't want to actually use this sort of like a knife or anything. So you want to just hold it cleanly here. Because if you put it here and you start twisting this around trying to fiddle this, you don't realize that you're actually using that thing to do a little bit of chopping. Yeah, so get all the way. I get all the way to the very second hump. I know there's a first hump that should be good enough, but just get all the way to the end one. It's almost going in there. Again, you can apply a little bit of mystery oil or some lubricant there to help you. I just prefer to keep it less chemical, and that way when it actually seals or clamps on in place, it's not gonna worry about the oil. Oh, by the way, another thing good to talk about lubricant here. Remember our fuel line there, we changed it from a medium tie strap to a smaller tie strap, and I left it on for the whole 24 hours, so since yesterday afternoon, and behold, I felt no gasoline. So I guess it's a permanent fix. I would recommend any kind of little small hose line other than this kind of heavy duty ones. Definitely want to use the right hose clamp. But a little small tie strap can just tie your fuel line. And the fuel line, I guess someone asked me in a comment what fuel line I use. I use a little bigger fuel line. I use a 1/4 inner diameter fuel line instead of the 3/16 normal vacuum line. But you can get away with both, actually, a 3/16 one. You can't go from a bigger one to a smaller one, of course, but yeah, the fuel line can take a 1/4 diameter, because that's what I have for my Briggs and all my switches. They're 1/4, so I was able just to keep those at the same 1/4. Oh, that last centimeter there. It's a little doozy there. All right, I think this should be okay. I try to get this all flushed in. I just don't like it when things are not flushed in. It makes it look like incomplete work, So A little bit more elbow grease, but it's worth the price. There you go. A little bit much better, right? A little bit more. Oh, it's getting... Takes a lot of energy out of you, this one. There you go. Much better. This thing is almost touching, so that's good. And then we can bring this guy over to rest. Or bring him back over. Now we got to do another one to the other side, just the same. We're going to screw it in, just kind of do a dry fit. And we'll take out the oil toward the end. We'll get that in there. Now I have to unscrew him back because now he's bulging out. So actually these things actually work great right here. So if you do pick them up, just remember they are the size here. I'll get you the bag again so you guys can see it when you guys get the NCY oil cooler. They don't come with it. So pick yourself some of these things. They're made in USA anyway. Good quality, not cheap Chinese stuff, preferably. Sorry, but just kind of like to support. Made in the USA. Okay, so 1.5 inch to 5/8 inch, and this is definitely the biggest one it'll go to. 5/8 right there. So see, it's really beautiful, nice quality from NCY, the oil cooler. And there's the package again. So you got quite a bit of stuff here. Okay, so oh yeah, I was gonna loosen them up, tie them up, loosen them up, make up your mind. Let's see here. Nope. So you can see all the slack is almost gone from it. You know, I can't even bring it in still, even with very little slack left. So I think that's why this thing is probably perfect. Any more, it'll go, but see, there you go. Flushes almost. There's no slack at all. All right, so we'll just bring it nicely where we need it to be. You don't want to put it to the edge too much. You still want to expose some hose, just in case that you know, it doesn't really clamp on properly. The little extra hose there, you don't want to recrush it. So, and then you can turn this diagonally where you want it first of all after you tighten everything down. So we're not worried about tightening it down yet. We're just doing a dry fit. Now we're gonna go ahead and screw this guy back in. Don't worry about the little piece here that we're gonna be replacing with the magnet, the little thicker spacer. That's gonna be replaced with our magnet premium one. And the only thing you're not gonna use from the premium one is actually the premium cap itself, that aluminum cap there that you see. That's the only thing we're not gonna use is just the cap here. Everything else, you still got your transmission magnet bolt. You still have your other side of your engine drain bolt here that we're still going to keep there. So that's not going to be taken out. A lot of people actually even do it this way. They loop it to this side. So they can even go from, we might even take it that route. Have this coming from here. Well, this is coming out already, so that might be a little bit difficult to understand. But yeah, the engine oil will siphon from here a little bit. And it goes from inward and so forth outward. So we could probably even do something like that maybe. Have it loop. I'm thinking. If that's the case, and then it would provide us an extra bolt though, but unfortunately they don't. So everything has to come back into this main one. Because I would love to have this loop all the way to the other side right here. And call it a day, right? So, since they don't have that one, I could probably use the decompression tube one. Because the decompression tube actually has something where it can actually screw the bolt on. It's like a 7mm too, like right there, and you could put a hose to it, right? So this is where, see right here, and I think this is the same screw size. I think, I'm not sure, but if we do it this way, it might be pretty interesting because I don't think anyone has ever done it. What you do is you take the decompression hose. We're not going to loop anything back here. I'll show you what I'm thinking about. Let's see here. There we go. Our decompression hose here. You can see here, it has it right there where we can actually modify. But the thing about it though, sorry, get focus here. Oop. Oh boy, that's the shock of death right there. Feels like a snake. But look at that, see? We can use this one right here. We can use that and put it on the other side and have it kind of looped around. But the idea of it though, it can go that direction though, but how are we gonna not bring it back over here? See what I mean? We can almost siphon it that way. That would be a possibility, but then we need to actually have it come out this way, but it needs to come back in this way. So this is probably the only source where it comes out hot, goes through the filter, and it comes back in a little cooler into your engine crankcase. But I was thinking of maybe having this draw the line over to the other side. You need almost like a Y splitter in order to do it this way, because even though I have it here, I can plug that guy. This bolt right here, I was thinking of putting it. Let me show you. There we go. I was thinking of using this guy right here. You know, we have all these aluminum accessories. I can make the hose go over there, but how we're gonna bring it back, that's actually the question. See that? You have a nice Prima bolt there already. I was gonna put them here. I'm sorry, yeah, you'll dig them through here. And unfortunately, this thing right here probably will block away, so it might not actually work. Even when we got this chiseled out, we still need a way to loop it all the way to the other side. But that could be a potential possibility there. Maybe in future upgrades or something, a modification. I don't know. I think it might just do well just right there in that central location in the bottom. So we should be okay. So let me go ahead and put this guy back here. Yeah, we're still going to put a decompression tube, because the decompression tube actually takes this spot right here only. It's not going to actually take the spot of our bottom one. So we'll have, decompression tube is really great for relieving the pressure of your motor oil. Not anything to do with your piston compression or anything like that. That's something different. But it does help the motor oil to relieve itself. Just like when you have a little bit, you know, a burp from gas and stuff. Sorry to say. That's what happens with the decompression. Your engine can breathe a little bit better, because it just needs to shoot a little bit oil back out of it a little bit. Just to, remember you saw last time before I had some oil just splurting out when I had left this open a little bit? And that's what happens. It's like it builds up compression, even with the engine not running. You know, just from the wheel rotating and stuff like that, and the piston pumping itself. All that gas just stays locked in, especially when you have airtight, you know, where the normally where it would come out is the spark plug, right? So when you have it rotated, there's no other way of coming out and opening the valves unless it's going through the exhaust a little bit. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to continue on. You can see how the internal of the banjo bolt setup looks like. It's right there, and it just has the washer. Did I just take this out and didn't even, oh no, this is the cap. This is going to the other side now, so we're ready to actually get the other piece of tubing that we have left. So you can see here, we have about a good 8-inch left, or maybe even 10-inch really, of tubing left. So we're gonna go ahead and fit this guy in here. You can see this one's a little bit more crookeder edge, just kind of slanted. So I'm always gonna work with the most flattest side, and I'll trim the other one accordingly to what I need it for. So this is more flatter than this other side here. I'm gonna twist him around, see that? He's more of a Bobby Brown haircut do, if you know who Bobby Brown is. Alright, so we're going to try, actually, you know what? It depends how you look at it, because this guy was flat to a point, and then you look at this guy was flat. Doesn't really matter now. So what we're going to do is go again and take the nicer cut side here, work with that one, and we can trim the other one off. Okay, so what we're going to do is probe him out, and we're going to get ready for him to probably get inserted to there. So I'm going to go ahead and, you can see my, actually says 2013. What was I talking about? Yeah, that's what it came out in 2013. I was thinking of getting a custom license plate. You know, I'm not sure the DMV has it registered, but put like NCY store or something on my scooter license plate. Wouldn't that be cool? I'll try to get that changed. We'll see if I get that. They also offer you a second attempt to, if that first one doesn't work. So there we go. This one's coming in. All right. This one seems to be not too bad. All this compressing, huh? I'm sure a heat gun will probably help you expand this a little bit better. Or a little bit of lubricant, but this is actually going in pretty smooth. Maybe because I got good pressure on both angles or something. And a little mark there in my hands, but they're soft as rather than that than any other surface. You don't have no control. You might break the sucker. If I did, man, I'll be Superman. I can crush an aluminum cap. All right. Yeah, I've been wanting to actually put this on for a while now. I've been contemplating since the 171 build. So I'm glad we're able to have the opportunity to do that now, because especially with the 180, it really needs it. A 171's nice to have, or any engine with an oil cooler is always nice to have, because the longer you keep your engine cooler, heat's always the enemy of wear and tear and friction. So the less friction, wear and tear, your engine performs so much more smoother and breathe a little better too with the decompression. I think it's good. That thing is like is very touching. That's all we're really going for. Yep, if you notice that the Tata one, it'll have the same company's markation and everything on here. Sorry, you can't really see it, but there it is. Nicely insulated too. Alright, so let's go ahead and prepare this guy with his own washer. I mean his own hose clamp. We're going to keep it consistent, put him in the same direction. Prepare him for it. Sorry, the video takes a little longer than anticipated, only because I want to do everything right. But it's better to know it than not. So we're going to face this guy in this way, right? Because everything's going to be... So I guess it depends. Are we bolting it upside down? We don't want that. So, is this going to be bolted upside down? See, this is not going to be bolted upside down, but ours is here. So we need to face it just like this way then. That way it won't be. Give them a pretty tight. You hear that thunder? Sounds like a scary movie. Days like this, you're just really blessed to know that you have shelter, you know? A lot of people out there on the streets. I'm sure some of them are by choice, but some of them don't really have much family and stuff. Here we go. Good days, count the blessings. Alright, so this is good. We got this in there almost. Life is so short, you know. Going back, noticing my parents are getting at age. My mom has dementia. My dad survived cancer, but you know, we don't know how long we'll be able to stay. Well, I know nothing's forever, but you just want to maintain and prolong things, right? And that's what this whole thing is for, really, to try to keep our engine cooler and longer, so it can perform longer. So there we go. Screw that guy in. Oh, we should have screwed him in before we put that. That would give a really good idea. That's okay. Still do it. It's pretty simple. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch him. We're going to stretch him to see. In fact, we'll stretch him enough here where we can actually meet him up with the other guy here. So whatever slack he's going to give us should be the same as. Well, look at this guy. Oh man. Yep. It went over. It went over the center kickstand bar. So we're good. It didn't go all the way entirely over, but it went over enough. You know, just depending how you define how tight you want it. All right, so yep. So we're gonna cut him accordingly. Supposedly, let's say. Let's see. Yeah, see, if I pull enough, it goes over. It goes over enough here where it'll protect it, you know? It's not going to capture it all the way, but capture enough. I want to tug it where I'm actually... Now I'm doing a really tight fit here. There's no room for any extra slack once this is cut. But you can see here, our idea is to bring this guy. So let me go and hold it right here. See, we got enough here to when this comes down, we're hoping these two will meet together and insert. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it the same length as the other one, because I don't think there is any reason for it not to have the same length as the other one. We don't want any more looser. Okay, so we're going to cut it right there. I think that's about right. They both have the same tug of strength. We want to evenly tug the strength because we want them to not depend on one hose and the other one a little shorter. So We're gonna cut that guy right there. And that's it. We have about, I think about almost good 8-inch left. Extra cable, extra hose. And we are done for this guy. Almost like cutting fabric, really. You hear that? Okay, so now we actually, I guess we can prepare these guys here. Doesn't really matter, they're the same, but when you get them in here, that's when you have to know which one is the input and which one's going to be our output. So these guys are pretty much the same, and they're pretty light too. They're just aluminum. So really be careful if you're going to try to force this in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put one in there now. Should get the hose clamp ready to be tightened. So it's coming together pretty good. We're going to probably, before we tighten everything down, we're going to actually probably do a tie. What do we call that? Can't even think. We're going to do what's called clam down, I guess. There you go. This is going to be a little bit harder because I'm working with limited space. But I got my, oh wait, no I don't. That one's for the other one. So there we go. Actually, you know what? Now I can take it off since we already cut it, right? There's no need for me to have it held all the way over there. That way I can actually have more room to work with. If there's no need, then there's no need. There we go. So I have it off now. Much easier to work with when it's off. So what I'm going to do now is just force it down. Oh, get these guys in the right direction. Keep it consistent, I guess, on where they're going to where they're coming. Okay. There we go. Give this guy a good tie down over that in there. So you guys can see it much better here with the whole setup here. Okay, so I'm going to do is tighten this down. Ooh, now it's getting a little bit cold. I'm surprised it's not raining hell again. H-A-I-L. That's how you spell hell, I guess. I think this is righty-tighty. Ah, look at that. Tights it really quickly. I know it's temporary, but I just like to keep things consistent. Went back on neutral on me. Can you believe that? Right. Ooh, nice and brisk now. All right, so. Oh yeah, it's getting cold. All right, so where was that? Oh yeah, now the wind is blowing water inside. Where was our other end that we were going to connect to, huh? Oh yeah, we're going to bring one of these guys here. And we're going to shove it at the other end. So we're going to go and shove this guy right here. So he's ready for... Okay. Figure out which way is best for us. We can hold it this way or however. I feel like I can get a little bit more leverage here. Just hold it wherever you feel like you get leverage. So I think I can get a little bit more leverage this way. Keeping the air open here, that keeps the pressure, the air from actually resisting you. So I'll try to keep my finger off of this little cap area because I have a habit of closing it. That just makes more work for me. All right, just twist in there. It's coming. The other one's going to be harder because we have to actually do it within the hose line there, I think. Yeah, because those are it. This is the final curtain call. Is that it? Yeah, we don't have to go all the way to the bump here. Almost want to probably meet with it. Like right there, maybe. So it's just got a lot of slide. You can go much as you want, but I'm probably just going to kick it all the way. As long as it lets me. And it sure does. Or actually, no. It hasn't. It looks like it's just spinning freely still. Huh. I'll be darned. I'm still trying to get over that. You see there. I'm still trying to get over that. I think, unless I'm not focusing right, but is it spinning it? No, It looks like I wasn't even over it. Wow. All right, let me get over it a little bit more. Even though I did get off the first and second hump, but still hanging on the second hump right there. So this guy's still hanging on the second hump because you can see the second hump right there in the back of it. The back fin of the second hump. So I'm going to try to get him over a little bit more. Completely over. Look at that. It's still like, it's like the second hump is just like, haha. Is it really? Whew. Not sure you can see me. But yeah, the second hump is just like peekabooing at me still. But you know what? It's good enough. I wish I had a little bit cleaner cut though, I'll be honest with you. There's no way of really trimming it out. Have to take it back out, but let's see how it looks though. Let me see, let me cover this up and maybe I can live with it. We'll see. Alright, let me move it over. Unscrew this guy a little bit. Again, it's going to take a 1/4 socket to screw it in. Screw it out, I mean. It's not that bad. You want some of the, yeah, you don't want to put all the way to the edge flushed. I mean your hose clamp. You know, their hose is fine, but you don't want to, it's like right now, see, this is all the way flush. It won't create a good seal. You want to get it where the hose is still exposed, because you want to be able to clamp it between almost the first and the second hump. And again, we don't know which direction. See, even though this has a little more, I can't go further because this one, I'm sorry. See here, you don't want to get all the way flush against anything, even though this has a lot more thing I can clamp on, but this side doesn't. So you want to actually even it up. So since the hose is not cut perfectly flat, we're gonna have to make do with this setup. So I know it kind of looks kind of funky, but it's still not bad. Damn, these things are highly durable. Okay. Yep, can't wait to see how it all fumes out. Alright, so we got this guy ready to go. Whatever tension we need to put, you can pre-tighten it where you can barely move it a little bit. So if this guy's still loose, you can pre-tighten him a little bit more. See, this guy here is still kind of loose. I have a habit of actually dropping down the product, so maybe if I face it down more, I won't have to worry because you guys will still be able to see me. Okay, so this guy can be pre-tightened a little bit because you'd be able to move him and move there. There we go. Nice. See, you can see the hose right there. That's a banjo bolt. It spurs the oil through here or out or in, and you can see the holes right there. You can see it through. So, and then what this does is it tells it to only open. Well, it will open only, and it will flow through this bolt here. It will only seek to open it, and it's not like you have to